Fellas, welcome back to Cringe. I gotta stop yelling. Fellas, welcome back to Cringe Confessional, the cringiest show on the internet. I set up an anonymous online forum where my Twitch chat, that's them there, could submit all their most embarrassing stories, and I could look at them and laugh. Ha ha ha! So let's listen to them right now. Most harrowing, terrifying tales of embarrassment and cringe together. And the least you could do to thank me is a like or a subscribe. I'm not begging for it, I'm asking politely. Please, please, please. Watch, I'll make the button light up. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Did it happen? If it happened, click the button. Let's do Cringe Confessional, shall we?
Me and my friend from elementary school used to play mobile games in the office after school.
Okay.
We were around 7 or 8 years old, and we just got into the mobile version of Terraria.
That feels irresponsible. Mobile Terraria. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Terraria, to me, felt arcane. Like, all the pieces of it, all the small bits and, like, how things work together, it was nonsense. I feel like putting that on your phone is a fucked up thing to do. Your parents should have stepped in.
He had so much better stuff than me because he played more, having cool swords and spells in the
What
sword.
a dork.
We were fighting a boss one Friday afternoon, and we were getting pretty rowdy.
Okay.
My friend had 2 of the same spell book, and I want you to guess what it's called.
How could I? Necronomicon? Ancient Tome? Something like that?
If you guessed Golden Shower, you were correct.
I said that this was dangerous for kids. Now I just think it's irresponsible. You got a pee book in there? Pee story, by the way. 5 gifties. Pay up.
The book sent out yellow laser beams, but looking back, it was just piss.
Okay, how do you... Was it, like, wet? Is it liquid? I feel like there's probably a lot of plausible deniability, but okay.
Me and my friend were about to die, and we started screaming hit them with a golden shower. And give him a golden shower.
Yeah, use
At
the
one
golden
point
shower.
during the
Yeah.
fight, my friend was running low on mana, and he gave me his book, while also screaming I'm giving you a golden shower, and then my name. I proceeded to try and be funny with wordplay, and say thanks for the golden shower, and then his name.
Okay, wait, so you knew what a golden shower was when you were 8 or 9? I thought the whole point of this story is that you guys didn't know, and then a parent came in, or a teacher, and said, good heavens, what are you boys doing? You were 7 or 8 and you knew this? I don't like this anymore.
Our parents had to explain to us what a golden shower is.
Okay, yeah, no, that's different. Never mind.
Hope this piss story is a bit more unique than the usual.
It is, and it is a pee story. Thanks for writing in. We got that out of the way. That was the first one. There are a lot of terms that you kind of just come across on your own naturally through life. But I think every kid at some point in their life is going to do or say something that's way more fucked up than they realize. And parents can't cover every base, right? I think on the spectrum of things you could have said, golden shower isn't so bad. You guys were not peeing on each other in the PTA room. Why do people like golden showers? See, that's a conversation. We're not going to have that talk here. You should just Google that. Ask your parent. Yeah, if you don't know what's going on in the Coney stream, ask your mom or dad. They'll know.
Let's set the stage.
Okay.
I'm currently a junior in high school, and this takes place last year.
16
Somehow,
or 17.
I still go to the same school as I did then. Anyways, sophomore year of high school.
All right.
The year of the Edgelord. At the time, I was the kind of kid who played it as the main character.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit infamous for doing stupid shit for attention without thinking about the implications it may have on me later.
That's fine.
New girl
That's
joins the
point.
Spanish
It's
class
fun.
and knows absolutely nothing about me. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm a pretty ugly guy, so girls tend to magnetize to my deeper is.
I guess what we're saying is that we're ugly, so we're funny. Which, like, it does track, but you could have been a little bit more explicit in that. All right.
So, me being as rizzy as I am, get this girl to come over to my place on Halloween for a nice horror movie date. Enter Edgelord. After the first kill of the movie, I started talking about a list of all the people that wronged me and why I was going to kill them.
Oh, yeah, I would have done that to Greg. You know, Greg in science class, I would definitely do that to him. And maybe I'll do it to Dave, too, after that. And I'll make it look like Greg killed Dave and get away with it. By the way, this is their first date.
She recoiled a little, but for some reason decided to stay.
Oh, that's weird. This extremely ugly guy just told me he's gonna kill people, but he's so funny, I guess I'll stay.
I took this as an opportunity to keep digging the hole deeper.
Oh, we're doubling
You know,
down. Right.
I actually want to kill everyone I see. What? Yeah, even you. Excuse me? Why do you want to kill me?
Alright.
At this point, I came to the realization that what I was doing was stupid AF and had to crawl out of the hole I had dug.
Oh, I thought you had good riz. You said you had good riz. Now you're ugly and stupid. You're ugly, stupid, and you don't get the vibe. What is that, man? How are you gonna get out of this one?
To shorten the rest of the story, she calls her parents to take her home, tells the principal about my murderous citations, and they got the police called on me.
That is probably the most responsible thing to have happened. That wasn't date 2, 3, or 4. If you did that, like, later, maybe, like, you did it too early, man. It takes people months to get that kind of trust. That seems like a threat. Like, you better be my girlfriend or else. Okay, that's the end of that story. I thought that there'd be, like, a happy ending, or maybe everybody understood you were just being an edgelord. No, that's just, sure, man. Again, I've told this story before. I can kind of empathize. I ran a bit, my first match ever on Hinge, and I was in streamer mode, and I said something that was a little, perhaps too far. I think it was fine. I stand by it. I'm on Hinge, and I get my first match ever. And I match with somebody who's at the Ren Fair. The picture is them at the Ren Fair, and they're dressed like a witch. And I sent them something about being a witch, or spells, or some bullshit like that. I forget what it was exactly. But she matches, and she sends back something to the effect of, like, if I used my witch powers on you, if I was a witch and used my spells, would you burn me at the stake? And I was like, no, I wouldn't burn you. I would just drown you in a lake. I'll put you in the dunking thing and put you in the lake until you confess. She sent back, like, ... wait, you would actually, why would you kill me? You wouldn't kill me. I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't kill you. I would just, you know, if you weren't a witch, then you would die. But if you were a witch, then you would surely escape. So, you know, like, oh no, I would only dunk you in the tank until you died. She sent back something like another ... and then a pro tip: don't threaten to kill somebody on Hinge, and then unmatched. And I feel like I got trapped there. I feel like if you're gonna bring up the idea of burning, I'm allowed to bring up drowning, right? I'm a Puritan settler, and I think you killed my crops. I'm putting you in the lake until you confess, and if you don't, then Goody Proctor gets to go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she didn't know about the dunking. Maybe she didn't know about history. She didn't know about Salem. I don't know. I ran similar bits with my girlfriend on Bumble, but she got it. She's funny, so that was great. It worked perfectly. You just gotta find the right one and then threaten to kill them and hope it works. She threatened to kill me back, and I was like, okay, this might be a really fun date or a manhunt in 48 hours.
When I was 13 years old, my parents sent me to a summer camp I didn't want to be at. It was basically a volunteer work camp.
Okay.
It was run by a charity who would donate dried fruit to third world countries to help feed starving
That's
people.
very nice. Okay.
The people who would attend the camp would help
That's
in
great.
the production of the fruit.
All right.
Basically free labor for a non-profit.
That's great.
I didn't want to be there in the slightest, yet I was forced to go.
All right.
One day while I was there, I met one of the staff members. She was 18 and we'll call her Rose for the sake of the story.
All right.
She was kind to me, made conversation, and to my 13-year-old brain was the most attractive person I'd ever met.
Sure. Yeah.
So
first
it
person
became
that's
my
nice to you
duty
in that
while at this
moment,
camp
take an
to
interest in
impress her
you,
and make
yeah.
her like me. It was the most delusional thing I've ever done.
I think this is a very common experience. You're a young guy and you finally like girls, and there's like an older girl that pays attention to you, is nice to you, and you're like, wow, she's beautiful. When you're 13, it's gonna be like that. That's fine. Having a crush on the babysitter, whatever. What happened next?
From guarding her during games of Il Mafia.
Oh God. Okay, wait a minute. It's that kind of extremely embarrassing 13-year-old affection where everybody is like, dude, that kid really likes Megan. You're the kid at the summer camp that, like, and all this camp counselors are laughing, and Megan's like, she doesn't want to make it, like, you know, she doesn't want to bring it up, but, like, you don't have to guard me every time in Mafia, right? Like,
To always sitting by her during meals, and worst of all, calling her cringe
dude.
names like Lady Rose.
Man.
I had just finished Kid Icarus Uprising before I had arrived at the camp.
How does that
So
factor
my
in?
cringe was worse than it usually was at 13. Nowadays I feel for her.
I see.
It must have been incredibly
Oh,
awkward
is
to
the
have a
lady
kid
thing?
following
Got it.
you
Okay,
around,
sure.
calling you weird names, and definitely having a crush on you.
That's not so
However,
bad,
the
though.
cringe isn't complete yet.
Oh.
At the end of the summer camp they had a celebration night.
Uh-huh.
Me, wanting to impress this girl I had a massive crush on who was 6 million light years out of my league,
Right.
decided to dress up in the nicest thing he brought.
Mm-hmm.
A button-up dress shirt, carcass pants, and sports sunglasses.
Cool.
When I got to the dining hall I saw Rose with a bunch of her
She's
co-workers.
gonna break your heart.
She was wearing this beautiful red dress,
Oh.
so my 13-year-old brain thought that it would be a great idea to compliment her.
All right. What did you say?
After all, she looks like a princess.
No way.
No princess is too straightforward.
Okay.
I know. I'll call her Mistress Rose. That's like female royalty
Oh.
or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know the definition of the word mistress at that time.
I don't know if that was the definition always, but it's there is a better word you could have. All right. Yeah, this poor girl who's been putting up with it all this time because she doesn't want to lose her job just gets called.
So when I strolled up to her and greeted her as my wonderful mistress Rose, the reaction was about what you'd expect. She responded with, "What did you just call me?"
She's got to protect her ass now,
followed by comments from everyone else around
Now
her.
you're going to get her in
I
trouble.
felt deeply embarrassed, but I tried to convey that I had no idea why that was bad.
Oh, dude.
I genuinely didn't. But I don't think they bought that excuse.
I believe you.
I didn't learn what mistress actually meant until I got home and told the story to my older brother, who told me to Google it to find out. My disappointment was immeasurable. And it was a life lesson to always know what words mean before you say them. Somehow, before I left, Rose gave me her number.
Wait. Why did she do that? Now you're a victim. What did you text about?
And we started texting after I left the summer camp. She ended up ghosting me repeatedly for several months.
Is that ghosting? I don't know.
Then she told me to find something better to do than annoy her. Absolutely heartbreaking, until you realize it was directed at a 14-year-old kid trying to rise someone who was in college.
I think Rose is neurotic. I think Rose got problems. Something's going on with Rose beyond the curtain. Underlying issues that she needs to address. That doesn't make what happened at the camp any better, but that is a bizarre change of circumstances. Yeah, what were you texting about? Hey, chatter, update us. I want to know what happened with Rose. He said he somehow got her number, and I feel like there's a lot being obscured with that word. That's what I'm trying to say. That recontextualized the whole thing. Maybe she gave them their number out of pity. I don't care why. You don't do that. Pity? Give them a fake number or be like, no, I'm not doing that.
I got caught jacking at the furry porn by a roommate. Don't need to elaborate further.
No, that's enough. That's good. That's a bummer, man. I'm sorry. Who can relate? That's all you got to say about that one, man.
The year is 2010. I am 7 years old. John Cena is still at the peak of his popularity.
Hell yeah. I
have
love
autism.
John Cena.
It's Christmas, and my Christian school does what every school does for Christmas. The nativity play. I am tasked with the job of being Joseph, mostly so I do not respond to lines I am not meant to, as it is very similar to my name.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The kid named Joseph is going to be Joseph just to make sure that works. Perfect. Good. Okay.
The play goes swimmingly, not a hitch for the first hour. And as I get bored, I come up with a great idea.
Joseph Cena?
Mary gives birth to Jesus, and it's time for me to add my own flair to the tale's oldest time.
All right, the greatest story ever told, right? What are you going to do to leave your mark on the world?
I carry Jesus to the crib. I hear a very familiar song play in my...
There's no way you gave the baby Jesus an attitude adjustment. Did you hit the baby Jesus with an FU? He's the last person that needs an attitude adjustment. He would save us all. All right, what happened?
I smile to the crowd and lift the doll from my arms to my shoulders.
Oh, no!
I slam it down into the solid wooden crib, performing an attitude.
Why is Joseph Cena going over on the baby Jesus? That's the Son of God. Don't do that. What a heel. Oh, my God. Okay.
Performing an attitude adjustment simply is not enough for me. As I stare down at what I have just done, I raise my open hand to my face, waving it and shouting, "You can't see me," to the horror of my teachers, classmates, and their parents. As I raise my head to bask in the glory of the crowd, I see no smiles, except for one.
John Cena. He was in the crowd that year. Yup, John Cena is there, and he's like, well done, kid. Well done.
My father, front row, his camera on to capture the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Okay, listen, is that a video? Does that mean we have a video? Chatter, please, for the love of God, find that video for me. I want to hear the gasp in the audience. There's got to be a video. I would have appreciated it. They probably didn't know who John Cena was. Next story.
So let's start this one out with some context.
Okay.
I was in junior year of high school, and my varsity choir decided to take a trip to California, visiting San Diego, the San Diego Zoo, Universal Studios, and then we got to do some singing thing in Disneyland.
Fun.
I was not a very socially competent kid, and I was still quite immature, especially with women, which is very relevant.
All right.
So before we got on the plane, a few of us agreed to be a group when we were on the trip, and one of those was a very attractive girl who we will call Riley.
Okay.
Over the course of the trip, I started to develop a crush on her, which got worse the whole trip. On the third day of our trip, some freshman girl found out about this while I was on the beach in San Diego, and we developed a plan to ask Riley out.
All right.
Chat. I was very dumb to trust a freshman to give me sound relationship advice
because
the plan we came up with involved me and Riley being in the confines of a ride vehicle in Disneyland.
Okay, hold on. Pirates of the Caribbean. That ride is like 20 minutes long. I bet it was Pirates, wasn't it? I know it's Pirates. Absolutely.
Before Coney continues, try and guess what ride I decided to ask her out on.
I think it's Pirates. Small World is pretty long too, right? Space Mountain is not Space Mountain, because you're not gonna be able to talk on that. Splash Mountain? No, it's definitely Pirates.
I asked Riley out on the Little Mermaid ride with the freshman in between us.
Why would you do that? You're literally on the ride. This shit is just going crazy. Do you want to go out with me? Let's go get a churro. What? I think it would be really good if we could just go get ice cream or something. That's very funny. That's good.
Right before the section where the song "Kiss the Girl" starts playing.
Oh, okay, that's worse then. That song is literally about that. Why would you do that? Well, I guess it's a little thematically relevant. I guess. Maybe we should. Wait.
She said no and almost had a panic attack.
Oh, God. Oh, no, there's a little bit of ride left. A panic attack? Just say no. The worst she can say is no. No, she can say no and then have a panic attack at the idea of it. On the Little Mermaid ride at Disneyland. You're all going to get kicked out.
To relieve some of the tension, I started singing along quietly to the fucking song, as though I could hide my emotional pain at that moment.
Oh, my God, dude.
We left for the airport directly after that, and everyone knew about it by the time I got to the airport.
Yeah, I bet people were talking
and I thought about jumping out the window in the security line.
Yeah, you probably should have. Yeah.
Everyone made fun of me for a full 9 months after this happened.
If I did this at the Disneyland ride and then we got in an airplane, I'd be pulling that lever they tell you not to pull. Sorry, everybody. I would be asking for that for the evacuation seat, the big one with the long legs. I'd be like, don't worry, I'll take this spot. Stand up. We're all going. We're going under the seat.
Way back in 5th, the original Black Ops 1 was out on me, and all my friends would always play after school. Now, the thing with Black Ops was there was a mechanic called Dolphin diving, and for some odd reason, that used to crack us up for hours.
That does sound
kind of funny.
Now, one day,
I had the brilliant idea to attempt an actual dolphin dive at school.
Okay. What's a dolphin dive? Dive into a prone position. Oh, that would hurt. Ow. Okay.
Now, important information, all my close friends were in my class, so I knew they would get the joke. There was this girl that I had a crush on as well. We can call her Jane. So the school day is about to end, and I say to my friend next to me, "Hey bro, watch me real fast."
Yeah.
I proceed to get out of my desk and speed walk to go to the carpet area and dolphin dive.
Okay.
While speed walking, I passed Jay's desk thinking maybe this would get me some cool points with Jay. No. What happened was with the momentum from me speed walking, I dolphin dive onto the carpet and knocked the wind out of myself.
Terrible noise. Terrible sounds. Oh, God.
Now, I don't remember hearing any laughs, but in panicking, because I can't breathe, my teacher says she runs over to help, which is even more embarrassing, because I did this to myself. As she's helping me up, I ended up farting really loud, and remember how I said I didn't hear any laughter? Well, the silence turned into my whole 5th grade class saying the one that stuck out the most was Jay. My 5th grade class gave me the nickname Dolphin Fart.
Dolphin Fart? Oh, no. And you're only in 5th grade. You got a lot more to go. You're not even halfway done. They felt bad for you up until that. They were waiting for something to relieve the tension, and you did it yourself. That's a bummer. That's a good COD name, though. You can name yourself that in Black Ops. People would like that, I think.
Hello, Coney and chat. This is a story about how I taught my 40-year-old therapist what yaoi was.
Oh, all right. Continue.
This started when we got down a conversation about music, and she proceeded to ask me the dreaded question of, so, what kind of music you listen to? Now, as a 16-year-old with zero taste in music, I'm addicted to Vocaloid.
Have you heard of Hatsune Miku?
Knowing this, I didn't want to have to explain that the kind of music I listen to isn't even sung by real people to a person who is old enough to be my mother. Nevertheless, I respond with, I like to listen to some more obscure pop and rock.
Okay.
I expect this to be enough, but it only fans the flames and makes her ask, like what? Now to skip all the explanations of Vocaloids to my therapist. She was rightfully confused but also intrigued, but, dear listeners, it just gets worse and worse.
I mean, this is fine. I'm
she
sure
immediately asks me to play an example song to get an idea for the music, and so I go onto my playlist full of those songs and hit shuffle.
Okay.
This was the mistake that ruined me. The song that began to play was Confessions of a Rotten Girl, which to sum it up was about Hatsune Miku confessing to God about her love for yaoi.
Is that what she sings about? I didn't know that's what Hatsune Miku I thought she sung about, like, having fun with her friends and loving sunshine. It's user-made. She can sing about anything. Then how do you publish it? Like, I'm confused. If she's a TTS voice, how do you get the music, right? If Hatsune Miku could say and sing anything... Okay, she's an instrument. A synthesizer. Okay. That's weirder to me. That would be like, what kind of music do you like? Violin. Here's the song if you want to listen. I don't, but I will. It's nightcore, I guess. I wouldn't want to explain that either. There was no need to explain what this song was about. Yeah, that's true. She wouldn't have gotten it. You know, I think you probably shot in front of it before you needed to, but...
When the song starts and I realize what it is, I immediately try to skip it, but I am halted in my tracks as she says, no, you should go back to that song.
I think that's
like
Beethoven. Wait, go
I
back.
realize that either way I'm going to have to explain what the song is about or why I tried to skip it, so I own up to it and start playing the song.
About
a minute into the song,
yeah.
She checks her phone for a reason that I think is just her texting back her daughter, because she does that on occasion, so I don't really draw attention to it.
She's looking up
After a grueling 3.5 minutes, she hits her final lob at me with the "So, why do you like that song? I'm fucked." I guess I like it for how it sounds and the lyrics. So you really like this song for its lyrics, such as quiet moans and muffled whimpers. And so this was what she was doing on her phone, looking up the lyrics. I think proceed to explain to my therapist how it's about Miku loving men-on-men contact, but feeling like that directly goes against God and feeling torn between the two.
Wait, is Miku canonically religious? No, it's just whoever wrote this, I get. It's weird to have her sing this. Why is she... Does she have a strong belief in God?
Fortunately, this story does have a good ending, as she actually seemed very invested in this. And we even talked for about 10 minutes about how religious trauma tears apart people from their true feelings.
Yeah, I mean, like, I believe that the therapist was doing this to break through and establish a baseline of trust, that you could talk to them about anything and that they're not going to judge you. I get that part, but did it have to be that? I do think that the therapist would understand. You probably should have stronger defense mechanisms to be ready to deal with that scenario, right?
So in conclusion, never share any personal ideas with your therapist, no matter how awesome you may think they are. And also make sure to pick a specific song when you are introducing people to new music.
No, that's the wrong takeaway. The point is that the therapist listened to you and validated your feelings and had a good conversation about it. You had the wrong thing of that, even if you were embarrassed in the moment. You don't hide your power level from your therapist. No, you tell them everything, bro. Dude, I did therapy. I only did therapy for a little while, and they didn't have anything for me. It was just like, okay, it's not like I didn't get anything out of it, and I felt like there wasn't. But like, I did not hide my power level. I was straight up everything, and I think that's the only way to do it, right? If you're afraid of your therapist's opinion, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, you gotta be honest, man. That's like the point. Not to be all like soapboxy and like get all serious on the stream, but like if you need that shit, be like, be honest with it. No, it does. Listen, here's what happened to me in therapy. I swear to God, this is true. I would go there and I'd be like, okay, so this is what I'm dealing with this week, and it's because of this, but I think I am having this irrational feeling because of that, and this other thing is happening, and I'm pretty sure that my brain is doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And they were just like, okay, seems like you got it under control. It was 6 months of that. And I was like, all right, I think I'm done. I'm very aware of my feelings and my thought processes. That'll be $80. Yeah, therapy's a scam. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not going to help anybody for real. You might as well just talk to your pet for an hour. You don't have to pay him $80. So, okay. Back to the confessionals.
I was in my mid-teens, and like most people around this age, I was very sexually curious and had discovered the beauty. That is Rule 34.
Okay.
I am gay and a furry, and it just happened to be at a time where I decided to make my background something of a particularly lewd nature.
Okay.
One day my laptop stopped working,
think you should have done
and so
that.
my mom
Don't
had
think
to
you should
take
have
it to
done
a
that at all.
computer store. I did not go with her, and so my mom calls and asks me for the password to get into my laptop.
Why the background?
I started to give her the password until it hit me that my background was not of a particularly appropriate nature, so I froze. I told her that I couldn't remember the rest, which pissed her off, and she hung up.
No, I just changed it, and it's different, and I have it written down somewhere. I don't know where it is.
A few minutes later, she called again and said we need to talk.
Oh no, they found it.
Unfortunately for my mom, it was not subtle and left nothing to the imagination.
All right, what was it?
It was a Yoshi. You could see all the bits as clear as day with writing on the top. That's I'd ride me ... please. I would like to add that I'm a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, and my mother was very much the Hispanic mother stereotype. She always had a chancler at the ready to beat our ass whenever we did something wrong.
Wait, your mom booted up your laptop to see turgid Yoshi dick and him begging for release? Ay, Dios mío! Coney, do you want the image? I found it. I'll use my imagination.
I can't even imagine the sheer look of embarrassment on her face when they got into my laptop
Bits
just for
and
Yoshi
all.
bits, and all to be right there. So when she said we need to talk, all I could think about was how these were going to be the last minutes I spent on Earth, and how hard she was going to beat my ass when she got home.
She didn't know about it. She said we need to talk about you hiding your password from me.
I paced back and forth in a panic, and when my mom got home, I could feel the life slipping out of me. She pulled me to the side and said, "You share a room with your younger sister," and that was it.
Oh, dude. Spared? No. No, not spared. She saw it and she said, "Take that shit off." That's way worse.
You could tell that she had mustered every possible bit of restraint in her not to murder me, and just spoke to me in a soft but stern voice. I thought maybe there truly is a God, but safe to say Yoshi was not my background any longer after that.
No, I bet it's not. The fact that you put it on as your background means you are catastrophically horny. I don't know any world where I would want to see porn all the time without provocation. Like, you could put a hot girl up on your wall, right? That's like a centerfold. But on your fucking screen, like, you close all your windows and you're like, oh, there it is, Yoshi dick. On a laptop? Coney, am I even allowed to link this? No!
To set the scene, this was my first scout camp.
Okay.
I'd done the cup ones where it's more or less staying in a heated house and calling it a camp.
Sure.
But now I was in the big leagues, and I sure did set a first impression.
Yep.
We get put into tents, and I get put into a tent with 2 older members of the group, and we get told that if we need to go to the toilet in the night, we have to tell the oldest member of our tent. So yes, it's that kind of story.
Okay.
My tent leader jokingly said that there was no waking him up, and I took that in good humor and continued on. We get to the first night, and I am suddenly by, you guessed it, the urge to pee.
Okay.
I tried to shake both the other tent members awake, but if they were one thing, they were not liars. So ever the Pagamtus, I began to exit the pod of the tent for my tinkle.
Right.
In an even greater stroke of genius, I get my willy out, so I was prepped to pee.
Smart.
Then at the door to exit the tent, I couldn't find the zip, and unable to hold in the urge anymore.
Oh, no.
My pre-prepped penis pees profusely. All over the tarpaulin. In acceptance, I returned to sleep. Slept well and woke the next day to the older scout exclaiming, "Oh, some rainwater got," and dipping his finger in the puddle, only to be told by my scout leader that, in fact, it hadn't rained overnight.
There ain't no clouds in the sky. Ain't no rain. The grass is bone dry. What happened?
I had to spend a week on this camp, and it did not cloud my conscience at all.
Oh, dude. Ugh. Definitely some kind of animal did that. That's fine. You get away with that. You're in the wilderness, man.
I was at work one night. I worked in an aisle where I sorted packages to conveyor belts.
Okay.
One package making its way to the aisle busted open and was full of crickets.
Oh no, crickets!
They began to spill out of the box and hop around everywhere. Wanting to get rid of them as soon as possible, I just quickly sorted them to a belt.
All right, just put it back
what
on.
I
Put it
didn't
back on.
realize
Whatever.
at the time was that the belt I sent them to had a return
crickets
belt.
are coming back!
Less than a minute later, the box came right back. There were bugs everywhere. A nasty day indeed.
That's the end of the story.
I was a lazy student in school, always looking for the easy way out of assignments.
Okay.
In 9th grade,
You were
spring
an
2013,
optimizer.
it came time for a project in history class, and my teacher gave us a choice of what to do.
Cool.
One of the options was to write a song about what we had been studying.
Right.
I listened to a ton of song parodies on YouTube at the time, so I thought this would be the best option
That's
for me.
not a bad idea, sure.
I was also very obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
So I decided the best thing to do was to write a Sonic parody.
Right.
Specifically the Sonic Adventure 1 song, Open Your Heart, which was the main theme of my favorite game.
All right.
Now, any guesses as to what we were studying?
The civil rights movement. Open your heart. Treat everybody as equals. Stop segregation. Maybe the Civil War? Something like that? World War II for sure?
World War II Germany.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Come on, Hitler. Open your heart. All right, what's in the parody? What'd you do?
I rewrote a Sonic song to be about Jews suffering in Germany.
Okay.
I don't have the paper anymore, but some of the lyrics of the original song are "Can't hold on much longer" and "Close my eyes and feel it burn," to give you an idea of what the parody might have contained.
I can fill in the blanks, I think. I can use my imagination. I see where you're going. Yeah. Hitler the Hedgehog. Hold on. I just did the Sonic game. There he is. Yeah. Is he hitting the pose? One of them is.
My teacher gave those of us who wrote a song the option to sing it in front of the class for bonus points. Unfortunately for the story, I did not.
You could have lied.
But I think the fact that I wrote that abomination is cringe enough.
It's pretty bad.
I think I got a B.
Hit the B rank music. Piece of cake.
I was a freshman in high school. For a spring break, my family planned a trip to go to Universal Orlando.
Very fun.
Last time I've been on a plane, I was just a newborn, so I don't remember how the experience was. Safe to say I could sort of call this my first time flying.
Okay.
We get to TSA to be screened. My family goes through the scanner fine, but when I go through I got pulled aside. I immediately got really nervous, thinking what did I do?
Oh.
The security member was being nice, asking
home.
Questions about where I was going for vacation. My heart was racing, answering her questions that were obviously just a ploy to tell me why I am in trouble.
Yeah, it's an interrogation, and you're not going to go to your favorite theme park, which is right over there. We know what you did. We just want to see if you'll admit to it.
Before I get to what happened next, a little context. I am Indian. Our family practices Sikhism. To put it brief, one major practice is to keep your hair long, basically never cut it. My hair is tied up in a bun because of how long it is.
Okay.
But being young and still having a baby face, for the longest time many people thought I was a girl.
Okay.
Now for the rest of the story.
Okay,
she pointed at the body diagram that was shown after the scanning, and said it picked up something, showing in which area something was picked up.
Okay.
There was a huge red mark around my penis.
Oh. No.
I had to explain that I was a guy, and that is just my private parts.
Oh.
She apologized and told me to have a safe flight.
Wait, does that happen? Wait, do they detect your penis at TSA? It's a big thing. Wait, really? Really? I didn't know they had a penis detector. Oh my God.
For a brief 30 seconds, TSA thought I was hiding a weapon underneath my pants.
I didn't know that was going on. Former TSA for real, even with male passengers, large privates would alarm people and we'd have to take them to a private area sometimes. Wait, so if you just have a very big hog, you might have to like factor in 10 minutes at the airport? Like, yeah, they're gonna take me back. I've never been taken to the big dick holding area. That's never happened to me. Being a grower rocks. I guess for this, yeah, sure. Good story. And it's the last one. Guys, that's another Cringe Confessional in the books. How did you enjoy it? What was your favorite story? Comment below. And all these Twitch chatters are going to comment right now. Okay? Stop licking. They keep doing that. I am not delicious. Stop saying that. I'm going to disable that emote. That shit is gross, man. Thanks for watching, everybody. Another Cringe Confessional on the books. And you know what? I liked it. That was a good one. Had some good stories. Thank you to E. Compton and Keen who put it together pretty quick. They put that shit together fast. Thank you.